Yes, sir. We back outside in downtown Chicago, trying to find some sneaker deals and see what kind of shoes I can come across. First store that we hit up was Ross. Damn, I'll be spinning in these videos. And they really didn't have anything too notable. They did have these Isaiah Rashads in this orange and blue colorway. They had some Giannis. Those shoes are super cheap. I've been seeing them popping up everywhere. I went to the Finish Line that's inside of Macy's on State Street. The store is relatively new, but they had a bunch of shoes on sale. Not a lot of great shoes, but they did have some shoes on sale. I don't know what it is about Finish Line, but it seems to me that JD Sports be getting the better sneakers out of the two. And I know the two are connected to each other, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. JD usually just has better kicks in store. They had some Nike Calm slides for $50. Honestly, that's an easy pass for me. I much rather get Yeezy slides, and the fact that they're so close to retail nowadays is crazy to me. Honestly, Yeezy slides are probably the best product that Kanye produced. I don't know if that's a hot take. Let me know in the comments down below what's your favorite Yeezy slide. I went into Burlington and then they had this hilarious Los Angeles Lakers Jordan shirt. I don't know if it was authentic or not. It was just crazy to me. They had some NMDs and a couple of other things. Burlington is super hit or miss. Sometimes you can find some crazy shoes. I found playoffs in here, but just in huge sizes. Man, Chicago is such a beautiful city, especially on State Street. I mean, there's so many good things you could see here and so much to do. So I was making my way over to the Mag Mile, where we're going to hit up a couple more stores, starting off with Nordstrom. Psych, we're actually going to Diplomatic first. Diplomatic is a resale store that's in the same exact mall that Nordstrom is in, and honestly, they have a really nice selection. They got some crazy hype sneakers. They got your Supreme Nike SBs, your Mochas, and most crazy of all, the UNC Jordan 1 Off-White. These are insane. They wanted $2.5K for them, and they weren't in my size, so even if I wanted to buy them, I wouldn't, because man, I am not spending that money out here. Also, take a look at the UNC Nike Dunk Lows that they had. These are super clean, and right next to the Polar Blue Dunks. I know Polar Blue Dunks is one of the most popular videos on the channel. Thank you guys for showing support on that video. I think those shoes are incredible, but I do prefer the UNCs. They had some Spider-Verse Air Jordan 1 highs, and honestly, these are on my bucket list. I really want a pair of these, and if someone can slide across a size 12 to me for a good deal, I'll definitely cop off you. And honestly, I don't need shoes dead stock. I wear my kicks anyways, so if you have a used pair you're willing to let go of, just hit me up. You got a bunch of other shoes in here. They almost have every Jordan model. They did have the Jordan 2 Chicagos that we saw earlier in this video for retail. So yeah, a lot of these kicks on these wall are pretty overpriced. I mean, it is the location. We are on the Mag Mile. I'm sure they get some pretty high-end customers who just come through and money is not a concern to them. But most of these shoes, you can find them cheaper and sometimes even for retail elsewhere. But I was seriously considering buying these Alma Manier Jordan 5s. I just love the way they look. Honestly, I prefer the Photon Dust, which is the white colorway, over the black one, but they are both equally as nice. They had a bunch of Jordan 13s, but nothing too crazy besides that. So then we actually slid over to Nordstrom to see what they had. Nordstrom is cool because you get to see the other side of the sneaker world, the more high-end designer fashion, such as these Off-Whites. I've never really been a big fan of these. Especially for the price, nearly $500, they can definitely keep them. I'd rather have a pair of Dunks, and the materials isn't everything anyways. And they had some Como des Garçons. They had some Air Max 1s that looked like to be a collab. Stop Slipping. I've never seen these before, but they're actually pretty cool. I'm a big fan of the Air Max 1. And then they had these gray Nike Dunk Lows that were super clean. These remind me of the Gray Fog Nike Dunk Lows. I don't know if you guys know about those or own a pair, but I love those. Those are super clean shoe. Definitely on my bucket list for sneakers I gotta get. And then I went over to Nike, which honestly has been pretty disappointing. It's very hit or miss here. Their selection of Jordans was decent. We had some Jordan 2s in this women's colorway that recently released, and they have the Jordan 1 Royal Reimagined. These have been sitting everywhere. Honestly, they need to throw them back on fire sale. Like, put them for $100 for a Benjamin. I'll cop a pair because it is an OG colorway. Not the biggest fan of the materials, but you know what? It's still a great shoe. Man, I guess these KD3s are still sitting, which is wild to me. For $130, an amazing shoe, and from what I've heard, a really good performer as well. They had the new LeBron 21s in almost every colorway, and I believe they're dropping a new next-gen version. I couldn't find them here, so let me know if I'm right about that in the comment section down below. But someone did have the On Pearls in their hand, and these are so fire. They did not have my size. I've been looking for my size, And if I can get them for retail, that's definitely a cop for me. For 130 bucks, honestly, you can't go wrong. They had some attacks in the yellow colorway, some dunk mids, some pandas with a nasty crease. Like, bro, what is, oh my god, that crease is crazy. They did have some Vomero 5s in this all black colorway, super clean. And then I headed over to Water Tower Place. First store we hit up was Adidas, and it was looking mad empty, I ain't gonna lie. They didn't really have anything too crazy here. They did have these new crazy Infinities. I guess they did have something crazy then. In this gold colorway, and they had the Donovan Mitchell issue 6, I believe. Not a big fan of those. I think Adidas was having their little moment there in 2023 towards the end, especially with the Sambas. A lot of that hype seems to be dead now, which honestly, the Samba is a classic shoe. If you want to buy these shoes, they're going to look good in almost any era that you're in. So don't worry about it if you recently copped a pair of Sambas, because they're still a clean shoe. Just didn't look super well on my feet personally. I think I have a little bit too wide of feet. Then I hit up this resale shop, and honestly, their selection was kind of trash. Their prices were pretty overpriced, and it was difficult to recommend going to, which is honestly pretty disappointing. We need more good sneaker shops. Then I hit up Finish Line, which is all the way on the top floor. And like I was saying before, Finish Line just doesn't have the heat like JD does. They had a couple Gazelles, some Champion shoes for 15 bucks. Yeah, I don't think those are going to be flying off the shelves anytime soon. And a bunch of Nike Blazers. I've been experimenting with trying to try new Nike shoes, so maybe Blazers might be the next shoe I cop. They had some decent Nike Dunks, as you can see, some Air Forces, and then their Jordan section was admittedly looking better than Macy's, which was non-existent, but